like she doesn't actually want to win her own arguments. And I think that is like very counterintuitive, but I think it's crucial, like, to understand as a man. It's like, if you look at masculinity and femininity, like, the masculine, protects the feminine, right? The masculine is like the hard shell that protects. It's like our muscle mass is bigger, our height is higher, our voice is deeper. There's so much authority if you just even look at the way that we are built, right? As a man compared to a woman, like, we can fight better, like, we can yell louder, we can typically build things better, like, and we're typically more future oriented, like, in so many different ways. Like, our masculine as men is protective of women, right? So with that being said, I believe that if a woman is arguing with you, like, about anything, unless you actually legitimately did something wrong and you're neglecting her feelings, or you're neglecting her emotions, she doesn't actually want to win against you. Like, and that doesn't make sense. She, on a subconscious level, she actually wants to lose the argument so that she can feel that you're the protector, so that she can feel wrong. And then if she can feel wrong, then she can feel that she can relax. Because if she's wrong and you're right, then she doesn't have to worry anymore, because you're right, and therefore you can protect her without, and she can turn her mind off. So I think that, like, with men, it's a little bit different. If we, win an argument with a woman or with anybody, we can feel good about that in the short term and in the long term, right? Because we feel competent, like, in the short term and in the long term. But I believe a woman, if she wins an argument with a man, she may feel competent in the short term, like, immediately she'll feel a sense of reward from that, but long term it's actually bad, because her winning the argument with that man just now decreased a dating partner for her, because every man that she feels that she's better than, she's not going to want to date him, pretty much. That's how I see it. So it's actually long term, it doesn't make them feel good. It doesn't make them feel good. So that's why I feel like, the whole, like, you shouldn't just let, I think there's many ways of going about it, but, like, you can't just think, okay, if I just let her win, then, she'll get what she wants, she'll be happy. I don't think it necessarily works like that. And I think there's different ways of winning arguments with people. One way is just non-reactance. It basically means that what someone's coming to you with is just nonsense, and they're just trying to get you hooked. It's rage bait. So if you just don't react, you don't necessarily lose, right? Or the other way to win is through logic, just having better points than them. Or another way to win is just by not starting these arguments in the first place. And it's not just arguments, but it's in general. If a woman, like, has this attitude like she's better than everybody else, or that she's the prettiest woman on Instagram or whatever, she doesn't actually want to feel that. That's not actually the feeling she's looking for. She's looking likely for the feeling that she's not the best. She's looking for someone that she can impress, someone that isn't as fazed by her beauty. Well, it's possible that that person could also be insecure and does want validation, but I think it's complicated, but I'll try to give a few examples. So this isn't even necessarily in a relationship, but I just thought of this one. So a man that I know, um, someone that I, yeah, a man that I know was walking down the street and saw this woman litter. She threw her cup on the ground, right? And then, the man that I know walked up to her and said, "Hey, don't litter," right? And then she got a little bit defensive, and the man I know doubled down about it and said, like, "No, like, don't litter," and actually, like, kind of raised his voice at her. And then he said that like she like almost started flirting with him after that, because it's like when they come into contact with authority, like that's what it is. Like you would think, okay, she wanted to be right and now she's gonna be mad because she thinks that she's right. No, she threw down the cup of trash on the ground, wanting to be right, wanting to convince herself that she's right about being able to litter on the ground, but ends up actually attracted to the one who convinces her that she's wrong, right? Because men are supposed to be leaders. Men are supposed to be leaders. And it's just like, I feel like even in a relationship, like a long-term relationship, a man is not supposed to, cower down. And I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that someone's right. Like, because that's another way of being competent. You can be like, "Oh yeah, okay, you're right, I see your point." But do that because you actually believe it. Don't do it because you think it's just gonna solve the peace, right? I don't think that that's how it is. Women will act more sweet if they're submitted, right? And a man loves a woman more if she submits. It's not the feminists try to say when the woman submits, it's only so that the man can mistreat her. No, that's a total lie. For me personally, I know for myself, if a woman is submitting to me, then that actually makes me want to treat her better. If she's not submitting, then I don't want to treat her better. I just want to focus on breaking her ego. Like, so, yeah. So I think that just generally, you gotta remind yourself, if a woman is trying to be better than you at anything, or believe that her time isn't worth spending time around you, or she's starting an argument or just an attitude, you gotta think to yourself, she doesn't actually want to be better than me. She doesn't actually want to win the argument. She actually wants to lose, right? And this is why, I think women without a father may be causing so much problems and being so argumentative. It's like they're searching for that masculine force that didn't come. So that's why they're just testing the heck out of everybody. And sometimes these tests can just be small little tests where the woman doesn't actually want to win. Like the other day, I was listening, actually it was a few weeks ago, I was in the car with this woman, and she told me to put on some music, and I put on jazz. And for whatever reason, I don't know if she just made this up just to get at me or whatever, but she was like, dude, do you like women? Or like, do you like men? She said something like that just because I put on like jazz or something. Like, I don't know why. It was like some slow, no, it wasn't jazz, it was like Roy Ayers or something. No, yeah, something like that, but it was something slow anyways. And then she starts questioning if I'm gay or something like that because of the music I put on, which didn't really make sense. But regardless, in that moment, she doesn't want to win. She doesn't want me to go, "Oh yeah, she doesn't want me to go, oh yeah, my music is kind of soft, I'll change it. She doesn't actually want that. She put out a test or an argument or whatever you want to call that. She doesn't actually want to win. So I can't remember what I said, but I know I didn't take it. I was probably like, no, I like my music, or no, this ain't gay, whatever. So yeah, you got to look at things counterintuitively. Like, I remember it was a few months back, I was on the train and there was this man and woman arguing. I think they were coming from a sporting event or something. Maybe they were coworkers. I don't even know what it was, but it was like a group of people, and the man was probably a little bit intoxicated. They probably both were, which is probably how he could hold his ground so much and not get emotionally flustered. But she kept like, trying to insult him, and this dude was just holding his ground. Like, he was just so chill about it, and he kept dissing on her, or like not dissing on her, but refuting what she's saying, and just he wasn't getting defensive, but he was just like, he was holding his ground. I can't remember what they were arguing about, but when I saw that, I was like, it's possible that they might be going on a date soon, because that's the mentality that I can see. Okay, these people might be arguing, so you might think to your head, okay, they hate each other. That's what you might think. But if you look a little deeper, you see, the masculine coming against her masculinity and breaking her down, because this chick was getting so flustered, and this dude was just sitting there with his arms crossed, even though there were like other dudes that were like telling him to like shut up. It seemed like other dudes wanted to fight him, but this dude was just sitting in his seat, just hashing it out with this chick. And if they were coworkers, I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up liking him after he held his ground like that. If she did show up, to the office or whatever, and didn't respect him, okay, well, this chick's just still in her masculine, because this guy wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just being chill and just not taking her shit, I guess. But yeah, that's why I think when you're talking to a woman, there has to be a certain level of you guys clashing together, like disagreeing on things, even if it's just small, even if it's just like something very simple. Oh, you don't like chocolate? Then I don't think our friendship's gonna work, or I don't think we can be friends. Something like that. Because you gotta have some opinions and clash them a little bit, even if it's just little things. So, because the masculine and feminine clashing together, I believe, is what creates a lot of attraction. So yeah, I remember watching that. What is that video? Who said it? Steve Harvey. Happy wife, happy life, or something like that. But yeah, I think a woman is going to be happy if you just keep letting her win all the time. And it may actually even piss her off to the point where she'll start causing problems on purpose, even self-sabotaging. And then men get caught up in thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad husband, I'm not doing everything right, even though she's causing problems on purpose, which shouldn't be happening, because we should be with a mature Christian woman. But all right, have a good day, y'all. Peace.